Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our Prepare for Prime Day 2-day virtual summit. My name is Dina Podner, and I'm the marketing manager here at Marketplace Strategy. Just before we get started, to give you a little overview on what Marketplace Strategy is, we are a strategic marketplace sales acceleration agency servicing clients from startups to Fortune 50 companies. We manage more than $1.5 billion in Amazon revenue in a variety of categories from grocery to personal care, home improvement, electronics, furniture, and many more. Our team includes strategists, designers, writers, and advertising specialists trained and focused exclusively on Amazon. Just a reminder for today that all presentations will be sent out as a direct email follow-up should you have to step away or miss any portion of this. To get us started and kick off our virtual summit, we'll be starting with Amazon's biggest day of the year, presented by our CEO and co-founder, Drew Kramer. I'm going to hand it over to Drew.
Thanks, Dina. Hello, everyone. It's a huge honor for me to kick this day off. We've got 2 days of great insights for you. As we talk to many brands, a lot of questions come up around Prime Day, Amazon becoming the e-commerce giant that it is, and it being the largest day for them. Lots of questions come up, and so we thought we'd put together this 2-day virtual summit to really prepare and help you as you're thinking through how you approach Prime Day, the strategies to really maximize the day for your brand and your products on Amazon. Today we'll talk a little bit about more from a high level on the history of Prime Day. We'll get into a little bit about e-commerce in general and what this day represents and what Amazon has really built and what it means for your brand and your company. And then you'll hear from a number of our strategists and experts throughout these 2 days on various elements of Amazon, digital commerce strategy, and I'm hoping you'll get great insights from it to help grow your brand. Really creates, what e-commerce really does is create a large opportunity for brands in today's world more than any time before. A lot of the things that we talk to brands about really comes down to 4 elements in terms of what has changed from a strategic standpoint, what things brands need to think about. And I thought I'd start out by going through those 4 things. So the first thing, and certainly what Amazon has created, is this idea of the digital shelf space. So in the past, brands needed to really think about their planogram, their in-store shelf space, how much shelf space do they have, what type of products they want to put there. And then certainly you have the elements of the buyers on the retail side that would really focus on the products that would have higher sell-through rates. And this really limited the brands and companies' ability to roll out new products, test different pack sizes, variety packs. And what really we see with e-commerce is this idea of this digital shelf space. So when used correctly, it can be a great source for product development, for new product launches. And really what Amazon has come in and really provided is not only the digital shelf space, but obviously the reach and the audience to back that up. Number 2 is really the rise of challenger brands. As we talk to a lot of clients, there is no better time in history for a smaller brand to disrupt industries and take market share. We talk to clients all the time, and they're either a challenger brand that have big desires to disrupt major industries, or we have major brands that are leading their industries today offline, and they want to protect that market share online. Number 3 is really the changing buying behavior of the consumers. We found throughout many of our studies that consumers are willing to buy more products, maybe a 3 or a 6-pack of something, if they're given some incentive, whether it's a pricing discount, it's a loyalty program, versus buying just one of a product, which again creates opportunity and something that a lot of brands and consumer product companies have to think through. And then the 4th thing is really specifically around Amazon and the complexities of what Amazon has built. So they have essentially built an ecosystem that is all-encompassing, where we can create demand for a product or a category, we can capture that demand, and then we can actually transact and get the consumer to purchase our product. We can build advocacy and loyalty through Subscribe and Save and Amazon's Prime program. So with the ecosystem that Amazon has built, a brand's success on Amazon really comes down to their ability to see the entire ecosystem and how one area plays with another area and really adopt that Amazon-specific strategy. So we're seeing it's an exciting time in history. It's an exciting time for brands and the brands that really think about how their customers shop today and how their future customers will shop will be the brands that win in the e-commerce space. In terms of Amazon and where they've really impacted all of this is really astonishing when you look at the numbers. If you think about 1 out of every $2 is spent on Amazon in the US, it's really incredible to see that type of numbers and then know that it's projected to increase over the next 5 years. And certainly the loyalty program through Amazon, through its Prime program, has been a big part of that. 2 out of 3 U.S. households right now are Prime members. So the loyalty program that they have built is really working well in terms of growing their impact on e-commerce. Prime members spend roughly 5 times the dollars on an annual basis on Amazon versus non-Prime members. So as this relates to Prime Day, obviously it's a day, it's called Prime Day. It's for Amazon Prime users, and you can see the loyalty over the years built to 2 out of every 3 U.S. households, which is pretty impressive. The other trend that we've been seeing through the years is really Amazon becoming the default product search engine. And this has really shifted from where Google had a majority of the product searches 3 or 4 years ago to now Amazon having 56% of all product searches start on Amazon. And 92% of those searches lead to a purchase. So what this really tells us is Amazon has really become a marketing platform, and this is a topic of many of the conversations I've had, certainly over the last 18 to 24 months, with both endemic brands as well as non-endemic brands, looking at Amazon as a marketing platform, not just an e-commerce giant. I think you saw over the years it went from a place where you could find low prices and you can purchase products to both a platform that you can position your brand, position your products to be discovered and researched by consumers well before they're ready to make a transaction. And this has really created the powerful engine of what Amazon has built. And that's really twofold. One is Amazon has enabled a ton of inventory and it's built its capabilities to allow consumers to discover brands in a way they've never done before. Their programmatic inventory, for example, can target in-market audiences at the exact moment that they might be researching for a specific category, for a specific product, and allowing brands to position their brand in front of those audiences at the moment that they're researching. So they've done a lot in that area. The other part of it is really the consumers moving from traditional search engines to Amazon when they begin their research and their discovery process. That's a big shift that we're seeing over the years, and I think when you look at a day like Prime Day, it's a great opportunity for brands to be discovered by more consumers and new consumers on that day. When we look at the future customer, when we look at the next generation of consumers and how they're shopping, the numbers then increase even more dramatically. 60% of all purchases by millennials will take place online this year, and 97% of millennials are Amazon customers. 97%. So when we think about positioning our products and positioning our brands for the future, and what's a sustainable digital strategy, the numbers indicate, as of this point, that many of those next generation consumers are Amazon customers, and further illustrates the point of Prime Day being a day where we can position our brands and position our company for success on the Amazon platform. So looking at Prime Day throughout the year, Amazon has really evolved this day, and they set out to create sort of a complement to Black Friday. They wanted a day where they could really excite an audience and excite the general public on shopping and incentivize a lot of transactions to happen outside of just the traditional holiday season, specifically Black Friday, as over the years many brands have been accustomed to developing holiday strategies, Black Friday strategies, and Amazon really desired to let's create a day where we can have that same excitement and create that in basically in the middle of the summer. So in 2015 really was the first Prime Day. They announced it via a press release, and it really they made it very clear from the beginning that they intended Prime Day to be a summertime counterpoint to Black Friday. They didn't kind of hide from that fact, which really shows the kind of the aggressiveness and the clarity in which they came to the market with this. The next year, 2016, it kind of took on a very negative connotation of everything's on sale approach. Many critics mocked it as the garage sale approach, where you have healthy price drops on many of Amazon's own devices. But again, on that day, it would be seen as success, as 74% of all e-commerce that conducted on that day was on the Amazon platform. In 2017, with the numbers in, Amazon declares the third Prime Day another success. Prime Day sales grew 60% over Prime Day in 2016. At this point, by 2017, plenty of other major retailers are holding really their own concurrent Black Friday and July sales. We saw Macy's do this, Kohl's, Best Buy, Nordstrom, and they really were doing this to compete with Prime. I think by 2017, we really viewed Prime Day as, this is something that has been created that's going to be a significant part of a brand strategy throughout the year, and something we really have to start to pay attention to in terms of a customer acquisition and e-commerce strategy. 2018, obviously there was a lot of glitches. If you had your products or brands on Amazon, then you certainly know this. There was some infinite loops that you ran into when clicking on the shop all deals. But again, in retrospect, Amazon did declare Prime Day 2018 a success, and it had more than 100 million products purchased in 2018. And then obviously that brings us to 2019. There's a rumored date of July 8th being Prime Day. It also is rumored to be starting to turn into a 48-hour event, and we can see this growing into a week-long e-commerce event in July. So it's really progressed throughout the years. You're seeing other retailers kind of think about how they can leverage Prime Day to help their e-commerce sales. And so our position has been for a few years that brands really need to think about this day as a critical part of their year. Prime Day has the power to make or break a year, as does holiday and Black Friday time. And there's a lot of questions out there on how do I prepare. So hopefully throughout this 2-day summit, you'll be able to learn some things, some actionable insights that you can take back and use to prepare your brands and products for Prime Day, and ultimately realize the success that's available during this critical time. So by the numbers, Prime is 100 million plus users, as Amazon has been reported. 17 countries Prime Day is held across. You've got Singapore, Australia, the Netherlands, and a number of other countries. So it's really become not only a U.S. event, but an international event. By just the sales numbers, $4.2 billion was spent by consumers during 2018 deals. We are forecasting that to go up quite a bit in 2019. And another thing to note that's important on another aspect, data point, is looking at conversion rates. So oftentimes we're looking at conversion purchase rates as an indicator of are we communicating to a consumer the value of the product? Are we really encouraging them to take the next step in the buying path? We're seeing a 3.1% increase on average conversion rates on Prime Day. So what this tells us is consumers are coming to Amazon on Prime Day. They're coming ready to shop, which shouldn't be a huge surprise. But they're ready to shop, which again creates where we have an environment where it's a finite amount of time that we have to position our brand in front of consumers and encourage them to transact. And the good thing is, and the opportunity is, consumers are ready and willing to buy our products. So when we look at Prime Day, Amazon has really created an opportunity for brands to have a non-traditional, unexpected holiday to increase brand awareness and sales. Really the major point of Prime Day is to see that quick spike in sales, and then have it maintain that momentum post Prime Day. A lot of the brands that are thinking about their marketing strategy and thinking about their Prime Day strategy, it's not a single day effort. There's a lot of obviously preparation that goes into before Prime Day to really make sure we're positioning the brand in a way where we feel comfortable when it comes time for the actual day, as well as how are we going to continue the momentum post Prime Day. Much of Amazon is built around its sales velocity, and we've seen year over year, and many of you know this, that the algorithms within Amazon are really triggered by sales velocity, and the more sales velocity you have, the more exposure your products will get, the more sales it will get, the more sales velocity it has, and that's the flywheel effect that we all strive for. When we're looking at Amazon on Prime Day, really focusing on, and we'll go through a couple concepts here, specifically as it relates to Prime Day, and you'll hear more, as I mentioned earlier, throughout these 2 days from a lot of our experts that will dive much deeper into these concepts, how to position your brand for success on Prime Day. But really it comes down to exposing our brand and our products to new customers. And if you think about the new customer acquisition is something that many brands are striving for. We want to acquire that brand new customer. We want to expose our brand to that new customer that hasn't heard of us before. That's the value we're going to get from Prime Day. If we have to discount to acquire new customers, we're willing to take on that risk and to take on that margin hit to acquire that new customer. And it really comes back to kind of marketing fundamentals. When you're looking at awareness, part of the sort of traditional marketing funnel where consumers are introduced to our product, there's a lot of ways that we can do this and leverage Prime Day as a way to do that from consideration. So looking at the way our products are positioned on the platform, especially during this critical time. Are we giving the customer the right information to make a purchase decision? Are we making it easy for a customer to purchase our product? Do we have good purchase rates going in? Do we look at our conversion rate before, during, and after Prime Day? Then are we doing things to really encourage advocacy and loyalty from our new customers that we're going to acquire? And so really it comes down to those fundamentals on understanding the funnel that Amazon has available, understanding all the different levers to pull, and really with the goal of acquiring new customers that will come back and buy from our company over and over and over again. one of the major things we talk to a lot of clients about, and I think it's so important to mention here as we kick off this 2-day summit, is really the importance of alignment on Amazon. And this term of alignment is used probably too frequently in our business, but when it comes to Amazon, there's a couple things that have really shifted, which speaks to the importance of really being aligned. When we talk about being aligned, I'll go into exactly what that means. But the platform has become more competitive. We're seeing CPCs rise on an average of 50 to 100% year over year. The auctions are getting more competitive. You're seeing the rise of challenger brands in major industries. You're seeing the rise of not necessarily knockoffs, but related products. We have a lot of companies out there that are specializing in doing research and understanding sales velocity of different products, and then they're really developing products to compete on the platform. And we're seeing that year over year, and with that increase, obviously things are just becoming more competitive. Brands are getting smarter, so many brands are looking at Amazon as a way that they can speak directly to customers. They can have a sales and marketing strategy that is aligned and built for their customers, their desired customers. And I think the biggest thing is, years ago we would talk to clients, and a lot of them were growing very fast on the platform, and it wasn't a surprise for us knowing the growth of Amazon. We had a platform that was growing significantly year over year, and it was easy a number of years ago to have success on Amazon. Now that success is no longer guaranteed. We see the brands that are winning having an aligned strategy across the full ecosystem of Amazon. And as it relates to Prime Day, there's no more critical day that to be completely aligned than as we prepare here for Amazon's biggest day of the year. A lot of the success and what we look at in terms of the growth of Amazon and how brands should be positioning themselves is looking at the advertising. Amazon is going to add approximately $6 billion in new advertising dollars to the platform over the next 2 years. This presents a tremendous opportunity for brands. It also speaks to the importance of your advertising strategy and media strategy during Prime Day, to have that completely aligned in terms of where are we creating demand, where are we capturing demand. Those are the things that we think about, and it's important, and I would encourage everyone to think about their advertising and media strategy, not only where are we just capturing demand. A lot of brands, they start there where they think about, are we capturing the existing demand? So this would be, for example, if I'm searching for a phone case, I want to position my brand in front of that consumer that's searching for a phone case. But are we positioning our brand at a higher level to create demand even before the consumer is in market? And thinking about how those work together is critical for success. And again, on Prime Day, where you have this increase in demand on one platform, it becomes even more critical for success. Many of the strategies across the ecosystem include product page copy optimization. So looking at your product pages, making sure that we have the right keywords, we have optimized titles, bullets, you have a back-end keyword strategy, and then really looking at mobile and not only mobile browser, but also the Amazon app, and understand how your brand is represented across Amazon's shopping app, mobile browser, and desktop, and really having a good view and being comfortable with your strategy from a product page copy optimization across those things. The second part would be really the design and creative side of Amazon. And this can be a very powerful part of Amazon. We know that 86% of purchases that are made on Amazon, the consumer looks at all the images. So the creative has become a big part of having success on Amazon. Much of the creative that works well is creative that also demonstrates the value of the product. It demonstrates information about the product. Lifestyle photos are great, But we've seen a lot of success when brands really think about the messaging and positioning their creative to not only show the product, but also teach the consumer something. As we know, this is an area where many consumers on Amazon look at the product images as a primary driver of their purchase decisions. So again, looking at that across mobile, looking at that across the shopping app, and looking at that across desktop, and making sure you're really comfortable with how your design and creative is presented. The creative is typically more apparent on mobile and on the shopping app than it is on desktop. It speaks to the importance of that. The technical side, as you'll hear later in over these 2 days, is critical to success as well. Making sure that you have the technical side of Amazon in a place where you feel comfortable. And this is where we see third parties latching onto your product page. This is where you see some duplicates, some variations that can be cleaned up. It's a side of Amazon that is critical to success. A lot of brands don't think about this side of Amazon, but really over a year, certainly over a day like Prime Day, where you have the volume that you have, getting the technical side cleaned up is a critical piece. We spoke about media and advertising a little bit. It is an important part where we're seeing Amazon take more inventory above the fold on search engine result pages dedicated to either sponsored brands or sponsored product listings. And this is a critical part, again, of customer acquisition during Prime Day. The synergies with other channels. Later over these 2 days, you'll hear from Sean Walsh from Social Code, who's really going to talk about how social media and your other channels should be integrated into your Prime Day strategy, and some of the strategies there and what they've seen over the years, helping brands really take that omni-channel approach to capitalizing on Prime Day. And then the strategic part of things. So looking at and working with your Amazon rep, looking at various promotions and discounts. Discounts are at the forefront of what Prime Day is all about. Understanding, do we have the right strategy, and are we looking through the right lens to figure out what discounts and promotions we can offer to appeal to customers on Prime Day. So there's some of the high-level concepts that we'll get into over the next couple of days at a deeper level. You know, we are very, very excited for Prime Day this year. We think it's going to, Amazon's going to surpass Cyber Monday and Black Friday. Small and medium-sized businesses have a tremendous opportunity during Prime Day. It's predicted to well exceed $1 billion in overall sales. And currently on the platform, small businesses make up $160 billion in sales on the platform, and Prime Day is another element of that. You know, brands are reported to have sales up to 500%. We see mobile increasing as far as usage and also transactions. And then, you know, when we look at Amazon versus other retailers, you're going to see a number of e-commerce sites adopting this Prime Day as a way to increase sales. So when you're looking through the lens of just Amazon, this is a critical day for your brand. It can position your brand for success in 2019 if prepared, if you have the right strategy, well thought out strategy and execution plan. But in a broader context, I think what you're going to start to see is this day becoming an e-commerce day, where as a brand, I'm looking at Amazon, also looking at your other e-retailers and saying, am I well positioned there? As we see this growing in terms of the overall popularity of the day, as well as adoption from other e-commerce sites. So with that, we want to prepare you for Prime Day with this 2-day virtual summit. Over the summit, you're going to hear on developing data-driven strategies. We're going to talk about deals, which is a huge part of Prime Day. We're going to be talking about creative assets at a much deeper level, prepare you with the insights that you can use on your product pages. We're going to talk about how other channels can really play an impact into your Prime Day strategy. We're going to look at advertising checklists to make sure that you are checking all the boxes there and have the right strategy and execution plan to take advantage. Day of tactics. So when Amazon says go and we're day of, are we doing the right things? What can we do? What can't we do? Prepare you with those insights, as well as the all-important momentum in maintaining that post-Prime Day. So we are very excited to present this 2-day virtual summit. I hope I gave you a brief overview of, and got some concepts here today about Amazon in general, where e-commerce is moving, and the importance of how Prime Day really fits into e-commerce, both today and in the future. So with that, I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and we really encourage you to check out the rest of the sessions, and hope you get some insights and action items out of the next 2 days.